on the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow.
Ghetto cafe in the building, steam rising from the stove. We switching lanes, they don't want it, they just pose for the smoke. If it's about that coffee, we got the roast and the toast. Shots fired from the French press, let it drip slow and boast. Mornings on the west, sun low, but the grind stay woke. Ghetto cafe, steam in the breeze. Cruising through dreams with a mug and some peace. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Ghetto cafe in the building, steam rising from the stove. We switching lanes, they don't want it, they just pose for the smoke. If it's about that coffee, we got the roast and the toast. Shots fired from the French press, let it drip slow and boast. Mornings on the west, sun low, but the grind stay woke. Ghetto cafe, steam in the breeze. Cruising through dreams with a mug and some peace. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios,
Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow.
Ghetto cafe in the building, steam rising from the stove. We switching lanes, they don't want it, they just pose for the smoke. If it's about that coffee, we got the roast and the toast. Shots fired from the French press, let it drip slow and boast. Mornings on the west, sun low, but the grind stay woke. Ghetto cafe, steam in the breeze. Cruising through dreams with a mug and some peace. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves.
Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up.
What's good people? What's going on in the world? What's happening? What's going down, man? This is Rios. This is the AM Wake Up Show. This is Coffee with Rios. You guys are the Ghetto Cafe. Stand up. Why we focusing? Why we doing all that focusing stuff? I got to fix that. But shout out to y'all, man. This is Ghetto Cafe in the building. We got to figure out what's going to go wrong today. We always know with Uncle Rios, something goes wrong. Something always goes wrong. So we in the building, man. We got some deep things to cover. A lot of shit to talk about. I think I figured some shit out, man. I think I figured out why all this internal beef and all this shit is happening within the United States of America, within America. Why are we going over here? Why are we doing this? I think I saw the big picture. I think God came to me, brought me some information, brought me some knowledge, and here I am, man. What's going down, man? I'm happy. I'm liking this new, not rushed, able to handle my morning. You know what? I think it's on autofocus. There we go. I don't know. I see it focusing. But I like this time, man. I have more energy. I'm more inclined to be enthused about coming in here where I don't have to rush in the morning and just get up and get in here. I could go get my workout on, drop my kids off. So I'm enjoying this. But let's give thanks to God. Let's give blessings to God. Every day is a blessing that we wake up. We all know that. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. All glory to God, man. But what's up, Ghetto Cafe? What's happening? Before I get into it, before I start talking about what I want to talk about, what's going on with y'all? What's happening in your world? How are y'all feeling this morning? It is Wednesday. Christian Carranzo already said it. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday. We're a few days closer to Friday. Christmas is almost here. Y'all feeling the pressure of Christmas or what? What up, King Ping? Cristiano Carranzo, Southern California. We got Smoke That Smoke up in here. We got Kevin Finley up in here. We got the OGs in the building, man. But get the word out that this is the time. This is when we will be going live. Maybe I need to adjust the camera a little bit. I don't know, like this. Or get over here. I don't know. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. I don't have my coffee this morning. Try to see why the camera's doing that. How's it sound? Because I think we in the groove. 2 days in a row, I think we getting back to the groove. Hopefully no technical difficulties. Hopefully we stay here. You know, I've been troubled, man. I've been struggling. I've been on a struggle bus. I gotta turn that autofocus off. But on the syndicate, on to some other things, since you guys don't want to tell me how your day is going, how your week is going in the chat, You don't want to tell me if you're excited about Christmas. You don't want to tell me how your day is going, how your morning is going. I'll just keep talking. I'll just keep talking. I'll be the engaging. I'll be the impact. I'll make the engagement happen. We were talking about how racism is being incentivized. How taking the side of racism is being incentivized. And I've been noticing all this division all of a sudden, all the way to Charlie Kirk. Not all the way to Charlie Kirk. That was just recent, his unaliving, but Charlie Kirk in those debate type scenarios where they're going to colleges and they're talking about black relations between men and women, or black arrests, black people in prison, black population, this and that. And they kept hammering away the topic of the divisiveness and the violence of black people, and getting a lot of people emboldened to talk bad about black people, talk bad about brown people, talk bad about immigrants. And I was like, what is this uptick in all of this like bashing of colored people, black, brown, indigenous people? What's all this bashing about? Why are we doing all this? Why is this all of a sudden an uptick? They now have debates with 20 versus 1. They have Candace Owens. They have all these black people out now that's being paid by unnamed groups to say bad things about their own race. And then I started looking at what is happening so that's internal within America. That's like internal shit that's happening. Then you look at like the purchase of TikTok by Oracle. They're gaining control, but they just want control in America, not necessarily worldwide. They want to control what's the narrative in America. Why is the narrative in the United States of America so important right now? Why is the narrative, media influence, so important within America? Do you guys have any idea? Do you guys have any speculation of why you think that it's such an emphasis on controlling what we hear, the propaganda that is being spread or spewed to us? I'll wait, because it's important. I want to hear what you guys think and what your ideas are. Hey, man, 346 packages, 180 stops. Man, do your thing, brother. Is it true what they say? They make you have a bottle to pee in. They don't want you to stop anywhere to take a break. Is that how Amazon is doing you, Kingpin? Well, yes, Cristiano Carranzo, control. Absolutely. Control. But why do they want control? Look at that shit. Why do they want control so bad right now? There has to be a reason. There has to be something pushing them towards that. I got to get rid of this autofocus. There has to be something, a reason why they're so adamant on control right now. Do they feel like they're losing control? Ain't no breaks, Craig. Keep it. Damn. The ladies got to find out. We need to invent something for the ladies, the Amazon drivers, the female Amazon drivers. We need to come up with an invention for them. We make some money real quick. Well, my theory is, or what I'm thinking is, that all of this shit that's happening in the world, America is losing its power. We are losing our global economic power. And with the loss of global economic power, the desperation to maintain control here in our own country, because if we lose power outside of our country, what do you have to have? You have to have control inside your country, because there will be uprising. And from what I see, there's no way that America can maintain global power with what Africa is doing, with the fintech, with what AES is doing, the central banks, with all that happening, all that going on, do you know how much money, how much control America loses, the United States of America loses, if these African countries, 34, maybe 34 African countries, are not having to exchange their currency into the American dollar to do investments, trades, imports from neighboring countries? Billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. United States of America loses its power, its stronghold on what these countries do. Africa has so many resources, so much business to be done, and everything they do has to be done in the U.S. currency. If they lose that, that's one thing, right? But shout out and praises to the African countries, and shout out to BRICS also, and shout out to what Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are doing with their central banks. America is losing its control and how ugly that they move and how they operate. You think America is just all of a sudden invested into Christian genocide in Africa? All of a sudden, now America is so worried about Christian genocide. Shit's been happening forever. Muslim genocide, genocide of all kinds of shit's been happening over there. But now all of a sudden that you're losing a grip, and now that they're opening their eyes and realizing we could do this shit on our own. We could have a digital footprint. We don't need a bank to do this shit. We could do this shit through mobile banking, mobile transfers. Mobile transfers. And it's killing the game right now. Like, it's happening under everybody's noses. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's really bringing it up. But if Africa, I think, contributes to 60% of the world's resources, and like 30% to like the open land or whatever, Africa alone. So that's one thing. That's one thing. And you could go all the way back, because now I'm gonna tie it in a little bit with, and this is just a drop on you guys. Venezuela sitting on the biggest oil deposit in the world. Sitting on the biggest oil deposit in the world. And China coming in. They haven't even tapped into it. They have more oil than Saudi Arabia, more oil than all these other places. They have the resources to make a global powerhouse economically in Venezuela. You think we just hitting boats just to hit boats? But we're trying to get strongholds in South America. We're trying to get here. We're losing shit outside. So I know for sure these motherfuckers, they see us lose. They've been doing the data research, seeing us losing power outside globally. So what they have to do is maintain control within the country. That's how a lot of empires have fallen. Rome fell that way. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't have what the economy that you did, can't fund what you used to fund. You can't intimidate what you used to intimidate. Now you need to come home and control the people. How do you control the people? You put them against each other. Tell everybody that black people are horrible. Just spread that message. Spread the message of how all black people deserve to be in jail. Nick Fuentes on Piers Morgan. You got racism being incentivized. You got this girl at Cinnabon calling Somali people the N-word, and her raising $130,000. $130,000 for saying the N-word. That's the support that she gets just for being racist. But that's how ugly shit has become. Like, oh, we'll reward you. There's people that will reward people for treating us wrong or are being ugly to us. They get rewarded. They get more money than that woman was ever going to make in a year or 2 years, 3 years, 150,000. But that's the way they keep turmoil, and they keep it, the divisiveness, division. These people that are being racist, that are getting paid, they not even a part of the big plan. They just are pawns in the game. Because they see, if they lose the power, which they are going to lose the power, if people within the states, if we, black people come together, brown people come together, and we really start, they see that they are losing control within the United States of America. They see that they're losing it. You think they trying to control like immigrants and this and having these ICE agencies. ICE is like one of the highest paid police departments in the world. You think that that's an accident? You think that these detention centers, these alligator Alcatrazes, you think that that shit is just for immigrants or just for this? This is all a test to roll out what they're going to have to do to maintain control within the United States. Oh, let's elect a divisive person that we could just blame for everything he does. Yeah, his dumb ass, he'll bomb fishing boats, he'll do all this. Let's put Pete Hegseth at the head of the defensive security of defense. Let's put all these people that can be scapegoats or fall guys. Let's put all these fall guys in positions that are going to do whatever we say. Not anybody with any moral compass or anybody that knows what they're doing. Let's put all these podcasters in position so they could be the fall guys. All this shit playing out, all this shit that's happening, all this shit with National Guards coming into states, coming into cities and trying to militarize the police department and all this. It's for the uprising that's going to come when America loses its global power, which is already losing right now. Ohio Ty say you want to combat what they're doing, pick up some esoteric books. I had to look up what esoteric was. I was like, what is esoteric? Something intended, esoteric refers to something intended for or understood by only a select few with specialized knowledge, making it obscure, mysterious, or difficult for the general public, often relating to inner circles, secret doctrines like Kabbalah or alchemy, or highly technical subjects. It describes concepts, practices, or even products like high-end audio gear that are deep, rare, or meant for initiates, contrasting with esoteric, which is for the public. Is that what you mean by that? Oh, dope. Post it, Ohio Ties. You know, you be dropping gems in there, man. Ohio Ties gonna drop his book collection in the Discord. I appreciate that. Seek esoteric, key meaning, secret knowledge, teachings, or philosophies meant only for initiates, like certain mystical traditions. Like, think Machiavelli. Think Machiavelli. The motherfucker wrote that book and it changed governments across the whole world. That's a good book. I was Cristiano Carranza used to ask me what's a good book to read. The Machiavelli book. What is it called? Hold on. The Prince. The Prince. Read The Prince. That's the book. Cristiano. Get The Prince. One of the most impactful books ever written. The Prince. By Niccolo Machiavelli. Nikolai. Is it Nikolai? Let me see. Niccolo Machiavelli. It was written in the 16th century. That's why Tupac was so vicious, man. Like Tupac was so cold. Like Machiavelli wasn't just a title of his shit. Don Illuminati, Machiavelli, like Machiavelli was really purposeful. It was purposeful. It was basically teaching governments how to not telling governments never tell the truth. Always keep your citizens at bay. Scapegoat, smoke screens. This is way before the art of war, way before 33 strategies of war or power, all that shit. This dude shifted the way governments governed. It shifted the way people of power, leaders governed. He said, don't worry about being unethical. As long as you they can't even tell you how the Quran was written. All this tech. They can't even reproduce a page of the Quran with the numbers and the miracles of that shit. But Cristiano, that's a good book, The Prince. Let me see if I could bring up a video. So it was like the separation of politics and morality. Machiavelli argued rulers must prioritize state stability, sometimes through actions considered unethical, a stark departure from classical political philosophy. His focus on political power, strategy, and human nature as it is, not as it should be, laid the groundwork for modern political science and pragmatism. It's called The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. From European monarchs to modern leaders, rulers studied The Prince for insights in statecraft, military strength, and managing public perception. You read that book, you'll see what's going on right now. Like, oh man. But America knows it's losing its economic stronghold. BRICS, I'm telling you, BRICS is a major problem for America, a major problem for us. BRICS is a problem for us. Even though it's good for them, good for the world, like just us being Americans, it's not good for us. We're going to be under a boot. We're going to be under the boot of those in power pretty soon. They're going to have their boots on our necks, y'all. Real soon. You think that this dude in office talking about a third term and all this crazy shit and all this going on, you think it's just happenstance? Just, oh yeah, he's just crazy. Ohio Ties, don't y'all find it weird with all this tech we have, they still can't recreate, even tell you how most ancient monuments were built? They can. They don't want to. They can tell you. They know. They just don't want to. They don't want that knowledge, that power with the people. It's a problem for the dollar, not digital assets. No, Ohio Ties, it's a problem for the whole country. You can have money, you can have this, you can have that, but the country itself, what they're pushing is division. What they're pushing is divisiveness. You're better than them no matter what. I don't care how much money, this is him. I don't care how much money he has. He can have more than 15 of us combined. But even the brokest of us is better than him. The brokest of us, the poorest of us, he who is the poorest of us is better than Ohio Ties, even though he has money, more money than 30 of us combined. Or he's invested here. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you accumulate or what you have. This is the crumble. This is the crumble. Digital, the fintech, it's fintech, the digital banking, all that shit is what is bringing Africa out of the shadows. All this shit, they're the number. Kenya, I think, is the leading country in the world in mobile transactions. Government as a whole. Exactly. Government as a whole. Maintain control. Read the prints. Let me see if I can bring up a little something about the prints over on here. Oh, they got the whole audio book with text on YouTube. Damn. Hold on.
The Prince by Niccolò Machiavelli. Translated by W.K. Marriott. Read by Bob Neufeld. Dedication to the magnificent Lorenzo di Piero di Medici. Those who strive to obtain the good graces of a prince are accustomed to come before him with such things as they hold most precious, or in which they see him take most delight. Whence one often sees horses, arms, cloth of gold, precious stones, and similar ornaments presented to princes, worthy of their greatness.
You could listen to the book, the whole book. I want to see. I think I saw Jordan Peterson describing it to people or has something to say about it. Oh, look, this one might be a good one.
So the Machiavellians, as you pointed out, Machiavelli was an advisor to princes who was really interested in some sense in the outright maintenance of instrumental power. I wouldn't say he was driven by any intrinsic ethic. It was Machiavelli gave advices to princes who wanted to maintain their position by hook or by crook, let's say. So Machiavellians are willing to use manipulation to obtain their personal ends. And narcissists seem to be driven by a high desire to obtain unearned status from others. So the Machiavellians,
we all know that. We all know that. They want what's not theirs. Look at, he brings up the narcissistic thing, right? Like one of the big things about the Diddy case, he wanted everything that wasn't his. He wanted the big takeaway was he didn't feel good unless he had something that was originally not his or something that was taken from him. Or if somebody has said no to him, he was able to beat them in some way, fashion, or form. He had to end up on top. He had to end up in control. That's that narcissistic shit. But I believe by nature, there are certain people who are not happy unless yours is theirs. They don't care what you did to earn it. They don't care how hard you work to garner the attention, garner this, garner that. They just want it. They can have 10 times more. I talked about it yesterday. They don't want you to have a piece of the pie. They want to ration the pie out to you. They want to ration that shit. They want to be in control of all that shit. There was a powerful moment in the Diddy documentary where he was talking about media control. He was like, you're not influencing the right people. He said, not through CNN. You need to be on these social media platforms where these jurors are watching. You're not at the right place controlling the narrative. You're in the whole wrong platform. Even Diddy knew the importance, not even Diddy, of course that dude knew because he's smart as hell. And he's a billionaire. The importance of influence through narrative and propaganda and media influence and social influencers. If I can get 10 of these people 10 of these social influencers that have a lot of power, if I could get them to say what I need them to say, that 10 turns into 1 million. That 1 million turns into 3 million. That 3 million turns into this. And now we have narrative control. And he knew the importance of that to get a favorable decision with the juror. They connected to him because they were going home, getting on social media and shit. But that's the same thing as like, oh, do you want a penny? No, do you want $1 million or do you want a penny a day that doubles every day? You know what I mean? Like, that's how the fire of social media and media influencers work. It's a fire. It's a raging fire. And it takes on a life of its own. Once it goes, it's out of control. But if you're the one that kicked the domino or hit the domino, you just like, let it burn. Let's watch this shit burn because it's my narrative and going in the direction that I wanted. People will look at that, oh, a penny double a day. Dude, I think it ends up being like $5 million if you take a penny that doubles every day. By day 15 or day, I think day 20 is when you really start seeing. I think by day 15, it's only like $160. But once you get to day 20, that's when you're like, oh shit, I made the right decision. What up, Dogface? And this is what they know. This is what they know. These paid actors, you think Netanyahu was paying these influencers to have a favorable opinion of Israel, a favorable opinion of what Israel was doing in Gaza, paying these influencers to do that? You think it was for no fucking reason? You think they want TikTok for no fucking reason? Oh, let's see if this was a good one. Let's see. Why do you keep adjusting? Why do you keep focusing, camera? I gotta fix that.
A nation state can either be a republic or a principality, and either old or new. An old hereditary state that has been passed down the generations is easy to rule, but taking control and then holding on to a new state is difficult. The difficulty is reduced if you personally supervise it. An old hereditary state, such as a monarchy, can be
This is him explaining the Prince Niccolo Machiavelli wrote in 3 minutes. Let's see how good he explains
the entire royal family. This is what Alexander the Great did to conquer and hold on to the Persian Empire of Darius III. However, states that are used to freedom must be crushed. For those who are not yet princes, it is possible to rise to become one by carrying out 2 steps.
Let's rewind that.
Princes, it is possible to rise to be. However, states that are used to freedom must be crushed. For those who are not yet princes,
states that are used to freedom must be crushed. Oh, they used to freedom, they used to living a good life. We got to crush them and let our democracy be the stronghold. Sell them on our shit and how we run shit.
Rise to become one by carrying out 2 steps. Follow the example of those in the past who saw their opportunities and be well armed. To keep hold of a new state securely, all resistance must be destroyed by using cruel, swift and firm methods, but then benefits to the people should be given gradually. A prince must win the favour of the people and dispel any hostility, but he will only be truly secure when he can raise his own army to defend against all comers.
What does that sound like?
Relied on. Neither can other people's armies. To be successful, a prince must read history, study war, and know his own land. He must give the appearance of being good, but also know how to be evil. He should not be afraid to be thought of as mean, as giving liberally and...
Don't worry about what the sheep think. A lion don't worry about what the sheep think. This is straight out of the book, right? This is a lot of shit that people have regurgitated and made their own, put their own spins on it and put it in these books. This is where a lot of it originated.
Spending freely will lead to ruin. He also shouldn't worry about being thought of as cruel, as fear is one of the only things he can control. A prince should be willing to use cunning if needed, and deception if necessary. He may or may not be loved, but as long as he is not hated, he is secure. Fortresses are of little use, as even though they can be used to defend against outsiders, they do not stop you being betrayed by your own people. A prince must be purposeful, determined and unwavering. He must clearly follow one path or another. He should encourage art and craft, commerce and agriculture, entertain his people with spectacles and festivities, rewarding those who honour his state. Only capable servants should be used by a prince, and he should keep them under control. Anybody who flatters...
What does that sound? That shit is so funny. Carrot, like 16th century.
...must be avoided. Machiavelli claimed that the once powerful princes of Italy, and he should keep them under control. Anybody who flatters must be avoided. Machiavelli claimed that the once powerful princes of Italy lost their power not through misfortune, but by their own inaction and indecisiveness. Fortune directs half of our actions, but the other half is left for us to direct through hard work, cautiousness and virtue. Fortune needs to be beaten and dominated. It is often like a torrential river that cannot be stopped, but during periods of calm, preparations can be made to control and minimise the damage. Machiavelli concludes by stating that a leader is needed that will follow the advice in the book. To conquer Italy.
Why is this not working? These people don't care about you, man. All they care about is control. Losing control abroad, do everything you can to keep control of the people within the house. Within your country, do what you have to do to keep control. That's why we have all this facial recognition shit. That's why ICE is using facial recognition, a license plate shit, all this AI type shit is going down. And this is just the beginning of it. Hey, the Discord is kind of confusing. My bad, man. I don't even know how to work it. So I'll erase some shit in the Discord so that y'all could have better discourse in the Discord. I'll erase some of the channels. It's so much shit in there. I don't know how to, I got to get rid of a lot of shit in there, man. My bad. Visionary Star, it's not hard. Just go to the financial freedom section. If that's what you're trying to find, the financial freedom section is right there. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. My bad. That shit just kind of like boggled my mind, man. Like how they play right in front of our face. They play right in front of our face, and we just kind of sit idly by and just kind of like watch. Just watch. You know, this is what's going on. Oh yeah, nothing we can do. Maybe not. People are starting to, in other countries, people are starting to be financially independent. And that is the problem. Financial independency is the problem. Having your own bank accounts, taxi drivers having their own bank accounts in Africa and this and that, that's a problem. Egypt, what you doing? You lose influence, you lose bargaining power, you lose economic pressure, tools. Oh, I hate this camera. Why is it doing that? The US dollar becomes weaker. Africa, BRICS, Middle East, Latin America. That's the whole shit about Gaddafi and Chavez. That was the whole vintage. Like they've been doing it for a long time. It ain't just Trump. It's not just Trump. It's back to Bush. The UAE supporting RSF in Sudan. Look it up. Mercy? I can't watch trailers. Let me see. Let's see. Mercy. Movie Mercy. Let me see what it's about. Mercy official trailer. What is it about? The upcoming American science fiction thriller film directed by Timur Berkimov and starring a detective stands on trial accused of murdering his wife. He has 90 minutes to prove his innocence to the advanced AI judge he once championed before it determines his fate. I don't even want to think about that shit. God damn. Let's look at that shit. Let's see if I can find a YouTube. I want to look at that. Hold on. Good looking out, Alberto. That's a cold concept.
I got this. We're 1196 on that possible hit and run SUV. Officer down! Stay with me, Ray!
Ooh, look at this shit.
We got a runner!
This shit already look cracking. Oh, wow. Damn.
Go, 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 go! My name is Detective Christopher Raven. We live in a world where murderers walk free, in a justice system bogged down by red tape and human error.
This shit look like it's cracking. I've been getting blogsides with this, but it's all good.
Judicial system powered by artificial intelligence with access to every camera, cell phone, and database. If you commit a capital crime, you have 90 minutes to prove your innocence to an AI judge, or you will be executed.
What?
Detective Raven, I'm Judge Maddox, and this is the Mercy Capital Court.
Hold on, just
Oh,
please. Wait a second.
You're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife.
I loved my wife. I didn't hurt her.
If you are innocent, prove it.
I need us to walk the scene.
But why can't, if they can do all that, why can't they just run through your memories? Why can't they just run through your thoughts? Shouldn't they be able to just read your thoughts? Like, if we got that much technology, a fucking AI judge, like, plug that motherfucker up his spine and then just replay his life. That would be better.
No, I have something here. We gotta go old school. That's a bomb. Get me out of here!
You're running out of time.
Wow, thank you for that. Bring that back. Pause. Play it again. Can you find out who that is?
Do you want to uncover the truth, even if the truth is dark?
Oh, that brings up a good topic. Do you want the truth? Do you want to uncover the truth even though it's dark? Like, that's what we have to talk about next.
Do you want to uncover the truth, even if the truth is dark?
Do you want to uncover the truth even though it's dark? Do y'all really want the truth? Shit.
Do you honestly think that I killed my wife?
I think there's more that you're not revealing.
Hey, that looks tight. It actually looks pretty good. That looks good, actually. That actually looks good. I'm watching that. For sure watching that. Like, just think about, like, was Judge Dredd, was that AI shit, Judge Dredd? But they were like robotic or whatever. But an AI judge, no jury. Just, you got to prove yourself to an AI judge when they already have access to everything that you're going to be presenting. Do you want to uncover the truth even though it's dark? Every movie has holes in it. I could pick apart every single fucking movie. No movie doesn't have a bunch of holes in it. Every single one does. AI judge, I plead the fifth. But at some point, they're going to just be able to plug into your cortex. and just be able to, like your eyes are cameras. They're going to be able to go through and read your thoughts and read what took place. Like, okay, you didn't do it. Let's plug up. Let's see what you experienced. What movie was that where, somebody would actually like be able to touch the person and then they would see everything that they did take place. That's the way. Hey, Visionary Star, you only got 90 minutes or you die. You got to answer to the AI judge or you die. I'm going to watch that movie. It's a little truth to everything. AI judge is already in place. It probably is. But let me ask you guys this, because there's a movie called Closer. I was listening to something earlier and they was talking about the movie Closer. And how this in the movie Closer, it's with it's from 2004. It's with Julia Roberts, Jude Law. I forget this dude's name. But in the movie, he's asking the wife or his lover to tell, he wants to know the truth about her past. Let me know the truth. Like, I want to know the truth. And she was like, the truth is not going to help us. It's not going to make our relationship any stronger. It won't help us get to another level in our relationship. And he's like, well, I feel like if you tell me the truth, it will take us to another place and we'll be closer to each other and more understanding of each other. And she's like not wanting to tell him, adamant about not telling him. And then she tells him the truth. And he was like, okay, cool. I could deal with that. I'm still here. I love you. But she couldn't handle him bearing the weight of what the truth was that she put on him. And she left him. She left him because she couldn't stand looking at him knowing the truth about her. So she warned him. She's like, I don't want to tell the truth. Let's just be happy how we are. Isn't this enough? And he was just like, nah, it's not enough. I want to know about you. I want to know. Let me see if I can watch that trailer. Let me see.
And so it is, just like you said.
I saw this face, this vision. You were perfect.
Life goes easy on me.
It was the moment of my life.
I can't take my eyes off of you.
You came to,
This ain't gonna explain it. Fuck. That's not.
You still fancy me?
Of course.
You're lying. I've been you. You hold me. I amuse you, but I bore you.
No.
You did love me.
I've always loved
Hoflation. The movie's called Hoflation. But the thing about it is not about the movie that intrigued me. It was the question of the movie. Like when somebody tells you, nah, I'm like, let's just keep it how it is. You don't need to know the truth. Why do we want to know something so bad? Why do we need to know? Like, don't we have what we have? We have, like, what we have right now is already good. Would you want to know the truth? Or be told and live with the aftermath if it's not good? I think it comes to like certain situations. There's like certain situations of like honesty and transparency. Like I don't need to know what you did in the past, it's not going to change anything in the future. You know what I mean? Like, now, if you did some shit that is like super questionable and like, you know, the boundaries and the standards, if you was that kind of person, yeah, I want to know that shit. But do you really want to know the truth? Living in the present is fucking important. Living in the present, living in the moment is important. But when you're living in the present and in the moment with somebody as a partner, do you want to know everything about them? Is hoflation? Oh shit. Let's look up what hoflation is. What is hoflation? Let's look up hoflation. Explain.
Inflation. What the fuck is hoflation? Dude, so hoflation, there's a lot of it here in Miami. Hoflation, some people think it's just an influx of hoes. It's not that. That's not hoflation. Yes, you could call it that, but hoflation is there's a surplus of women who are being treated like 10s, even though they're 6s, 7s. They're being treated like 10s because this new age of internet money and this new age of entrepreneurs, they get a little bit of money, and the first hot girl they see that's 6, 7, whatever, average girl, they're giving her the world, bro. Bags, trips, dinners, taking her friends out. So now all these girls are starting to think that's the standard. So you got a bunch of 6s and 7s, guys. And I know I'm rating these girls, and it sounds like I'm an asshole. I'm a 7, okay? So let's just put that out there. You got a lot of 6s and 7s who are thinking they're 10s because they're being treated like 10s by dudes who are just rich, you know? So now this has caused an inflation, and these girls up here are expecting a standard that us normal guys can't keep up with. I wanted to ask you about the
No, okay, before I give my opinion, I don't want to just give my opinion. Hoflation that's what hoflation is. That's not what I was thinking it was going to be. But inflating the truth about what a woman, not even inflating the truth, just treating them beyond what you think that they should be treated like. So you're just saying that these girls, because of their looks, shouldn't be catered to, or you shouldn't spend the money on women that don't look like 10s. Like, so it makes it hard to approach a 6 and 7. That's why that outlook that these dudes have, that shit is so stupid, because you should be approaching the 10s. You should be approaching the 10s the same as you approach a 6 or 7. You're putting limitations on yourself thinking that, 10s are only used to being splurged on, only want to be with guys that want to be splurged on. These dudes that are like coming up, this new generation, like the way they think is so fucking backwards to me. And the percentage of rich men doing that with women is so small and so little. The ratio is minute. But these young men, they're putting limitations on themselves based on the way a woman looks. Shit, so that Bushido Zay. So why would you treat a 10? So the difference between a 5 and a 10. So you're just based off a woman's looks, you're going to treat her better than a 5? Just based off of 10's looks, you're going to treat her better than a 5. That's why y'all niggas is losing. That's why y'all getting left behind. Because you think just based off a woman's looks, you're supposed to treat her different, or she deserves this much more because of the way she looks. Like, even Visionary Star, even if it's about the mind, you're limiting yourself. You're putting yourself in a box. You're marginalizing yourself on who you can approach based off of how much money you have. And we do this thing where we're like putting all women in the same box. Like, I'm going to categorize you here based off how you look. I'm going to categorize you here based off of how you do this. And that's where you are. you're going into these situations thinking that you know what the situation is, and you don't. No one's saying pretty privilege ain't real. Is pretty privilege real with you? Bushido say pretty privilege is real with you. Pretty privilege is real at clubs, letting pretty girls get in, pretty girls paying cheaper for shit. But is pretty privilege real with you? The pretty girl, I'll tell you this, I'll let you in on an industry secret. You treat the pretty girl like she's a 5, you gon' win. You treat the pretty girl like she's just average, you win. You go to a group of girls and you go talk to the 6, the 10 is gonna be like, wait, how do I get his attention? Y'all niggas is tripping. Y'all got the shit backwards. Treat them all the same. You gonna win. Treat people the same. Give equal opportunity. Like, you don't just splurge on somebody because she's pretty. What if her back record, her record is just atrocious? But just because she pretty, you about to splurge on her, and she done slept with 3,000. But the 5, the 6, the 7, or whoever, whatever you guys want to categorize them is the fun one that you're going to have a good time with, that you're going to go on a trip with, and it's going to be cracking because she's funny, she's this, she's outgoing, and she's cracking in the bedroom and this and that. Like, you're not spending money on what you think is going to bring joy. You're just spending money on what you think you're supposed to spend money on. It's not even get what you can. Like, it's just stop boxing people in. Stop prejudging people based off of what you think a look is. And then you might think somebody is doing wholeflation with a 6 or 7. She might be a 6 or 7 to you, but maybe in that dude's eyes, she is a 10. Maybe she is a 10 based on what he thinks. Based on what his criteria is. Everybody's criteria ain't the same. These rich guys are splurging on these 5. How many rich guys do you know? It's just niggas is trying to make excuses. That's what it is. That's what it is. Men trying to make excuses for the reason why they can't crack girls. The reason you ain't popping is not because of you. It's not because you ain't got no game. It's not because you don't have a good energy or you vibing. It's not because of that. That's not why you ain't got no roster. Your roster is empty because of the rich dudes. Just blame it on the rich dudes. I want to see another video on that. If that's the real definition. Inflation pushes people to become passport bros. Let's see what Candace. I think this is Candace Owens.
Hilarious, which he's saying that men used to have to do a lot less and get a very high value woman. He's like, so think about your grandparents and your grandmother. She was a high value woman. She raised the kids. She was conservative. She was beautiful, all of these things. And now we live in this moment where everyone's kind of a hoe and you have to work harder to get a woman that doesn't have any self-respect or any value. And he started talking about hoflation, which is really hilarious, which he's saying that men used to have to do a lot less and get a very high value value women. He's like, so think about your grandparents and your grandmother. She was a high value woman. She, she raised the kids. She was conservative. She was beautiful, all of these things. And now we live in this moment where everyone's kind of a hoe and you have to work harder to get a woman that doesn't have any self-respect or any value. And he started.
Now that's sort of a different explanation. That's a little bit of a different, kind of the same, that you got to do more now that than what we used to have to do back in the day. Yeah, we used to have to, everything was easier back in the day. You used to be able to pay less for a car. You used to be able to pay less for a house. You used to be able to put less effort into a bunch of shit and get more. But they isolate and individualize what the problem is to women. Oh, it's women. Oh, it's men. Oh, it's the rich men. They want to make excuses so bad for people that are just whack. There's more people in the world now, and it's a lot of niggas in this world that's weak, that's whack. You ain't got no game. You don't know how to even enjoy yourself with a woman. You don't even know how to even be enjoyable. You're not even fun to be around. But then you're gonna blame this on this, or hoflation, or rich niggas doing this. But you're not even a good time. Yeah, when you ain't got nothing to offer but money, yeah, you better have money. When that's all you have to offer. When all you have to offer is money, yeah, you better have it. Because without the money, you're going to be an incel, right? What they say, involuntarily celibate. It's just these antisocial people in this world that are online or gaming or not interacting out here in the world that are so pissed off that they can't get can't get a girl or can't get somebody to like them because you're not a likable person. Don't nobody want to be around your ass. You always yelling. You always arguing. You always debating every single topic. You don't know how to shut the fuck up and get some pussy. You want to combat everything a woman says. You turn every date into a debate. You turn every conversation with a woman of nah, yay or nay, me against you, instead of just shutting the fuck up and letting women be women. That's how men win. We win like that. Just shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But we got a bunch of weak ass people out here, a bunch of weak men that aren't even fun to be around. Your homies don't even like being around you. You and your homies is the corniest crew in the world. I didn't even know hoflation was a thing. I thought old boy was just playing what he said, hoflation on any platform. Hoflation versus broflation. Oh, there is a movie called Hoflation.
What's up?
Oh, no, this is a song. Hoflation versus broflation. Let me see. I'm going to look at one more.
Why do modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers did for women 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were?
Because a lot of times the men made the women worse. And though their grandfathers cherished their women more and let them be women.
We have empowered women so much to believe that they are queens and that they don't have to work for a relationship. The dating apps have created a false sense of options for women. Women are getting attention left and right on different social media platforms. You had options of 3-mile radius of people that you were dating 20, 30, even 40 years ago. I mean, the iPhone and technology has changed everything for women, especially good-looking women. So men have to stop giving that attention because they're thirsty or whatever, and women wouldn't have any place to sell that hoflation or sell their wholeness if men weren't buying.
Why do
But man, I'm so like want to say like is that the majority? Is hoflation the majority of what they're saying hoflation is? Is that what it is? She said men used to, like, everything was different back in the day. Why do men have to work 15 times harder to get a woman? Why do men have to work 15 times harder to get a house? Why do men have to work 15 times harder to get a car? Everything is more difficult. Yeah, but who jumped all the way to the man being a bum? Why the man got to be a bum? Like, why do we got to jump all the way to the dude being a bum? If you're a bum and don't have nothing to offer, like if you are homeless and have nothing to offer, like you shouldn't be pursuing anything, right?
When I met Denzel, everyone's like,
let me see. I want one more. I want to see what broflation is. I want to see what broflation is.
Recently on Twitter, I asked guys to describe what the biggest challenge facing modern men was in 3 words or less. And one of the answers I got was hoflation. And the guy who said that, he attached a screenshot defining what hoflation was. And it went, modern men have to work 10 times harder than their grandfathers did. For women, 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were. It's called hoflation, and it's destroying Western men's desires to be providers and protectors. And I can kind of see where this is coming from, right? I've definitely seen women who fall into this caricature.
What up, Tony?
Who seem to have a very outsized idea of the qualities that the man they should get should have. So, for example, let's look at what this stereotypical hoflated woman wants, okay? Like, she wants a guy who's over 6 feet tall, right? She wants a guy who's making over 6 figures. Ideally, he also has a 6-pack, but at the very least, he's got muscles, right? He's in shape. And of course, he has to be dedicated to only her, and he's got to treat her like
breakdown is crazy,
right? That's this hoflated ideal. Meanwhile, the argument goes that she's overweight, she makes little or no money, she either can't or won't cook or clean, and she's addicted to social media, and the big one is she's got this huge body count of past sex.
Who are these women? Is this real? Like, y'all out there in the world, single or whatever, is this really women? The women like that?
Actual partners. And so I can see guys who are, caught in this mentality, viewing this. They're like, oh yeah, it's bullshit. All this hoflation going on. It's unfair. These women want these things that I can't provide, and it's just bullshit because they're not even worth it. Now, there may be some truth to that, but I always got to look at the flip side, right? Let's look at the other side of this. Let's call it broflation. Okay, and I think that this is equally as much of a thing.
Hold on, y'all. You might be trying to bash.
So what does the average guy want? Okay, well, I believe he wants a girl who looks like a porn star, has sex like a porn star, has few or no previous sexual partners, is traditionally feminine, doesn't place high financial demands on him, and will cook and clean for him. Meanwhile, if we're going to look at what the average man actually is, well, he's out of shape, he's addicted to porn, he's addicted to video games, and he's definitely not making any sort of bold career moves. Now, I'm not trying to shit on the average man or the average woman for being average, because, that's just what it means to be average, is that you're not top of the pack.
So it's both ways.
I think in a lot of ways, social media has trained us all, social media and I guess porn, internet culture in general, has allowed us to see so many people at like the edges and the tops of bell curves.
Truth in the hotels.
Being able to see these extreme outliers, both in terms of, men who are extremely successful, women who are extremely attractive, all this kind of stuff that we've started to warp our tastes.
But that's such a small percentage of the people.
And I believe that men are equally as guilty of this, because if they're constantly jerking off to porn and that sort of thing, it's like, well, they start to think, well, that's what I need, that's what I really want, is a girl who looks and acts like that. And it screws up everything, right? I see this on all sides. Like, people have this distorted view of who they are, what they deserve, and how to go about getting good things, okay? At the end of the day,
That's the anti-social shit, man. Like, people are not social. People aren't really out here in the world really experiencing what's going on in the world. They just think like, oh, this is what I saw. This is what it looks like. So this is how it is. This is what it must be. That's what it is. Like, people don't know how to be people no more.
Really good women and really good men still exist. They do, all right? Like, what are you going to tell me? You're going to tell me there's no good women left? No, that's not true at all. The thing is, though, if you want an extremely high quality woman, guess what? You have to be an extremely high quality man. There's no way around it. Why would it be any other way? And so it's like, I get why guys fall into this sort of bitterness. And a lot of it is not really even their fault. It's like if I was going to put a big, blame on it all, I think porn culture has really fucked guys up because it's morphed their sexual tastes to expect things that they probably won't be able to get. And in reality, might not even want. Okay, like a sexuality and a sexual desire that is not attached to that. Like, you just go back and you look at, like, you talk about your grandfathers. Okay, they didn't have sexual tastes morphed by pornography. They were able to see that average woman as beautiful and exciting. Okay, now, yes, I think the biggest point here that men have is that women, in a lot of ways, have abandoned traditional femininity. But I think a lot of women are actually really hungry to become traditionally feminine.
Yeah.
But the only way in which they can really relax into that and embrace that is if they have a truly masculine man to make becoming feminine again feel safe, feel good, feel natural, feel right. Because, if you're going to steel man the feminist argument, they had a point. Like, I think that in a lot of cases, women were at the mercy of kind of piggish men who didn't really properly care.
Because they had to have a man to succeed or to be well off because the man was making the money. So yeah, shit has changed.
For them. They just expected, these women to cook and clean for them and bear their babies. And meanwhile, they could go out and drink and sleep around and do that kind of thing. And so it's like, we have to be better. I believe that's the case. If you want a better woman, be a better man. And at the end of the day.
But it's not even better. It's not even being a better man, be a better woman. If you want the type of woman that you want, you better have the things. You can't say I want a woman that's a freak in the sheets, and a woman in the streets, and I want her to be this cracking in the bed. I want her to be this cracking sexually. But then on top of then expect her not to have no sexual partners in the past. How you think she became a freak? How you think she learned that shit? It has to come from somewhere. You got to give and take. Like, we have this false sense of what builds a person. You want all these things, but none of the reasons why that is. You want all the gifts of what that woman is, but you don't want her to have to go through life to get those gifts and to be what you want her to be. Like, what? I want a girl that does this, or a woman. I want a guy that does this and this and that. I want a hood dude. Well, guess what? There's going to be some hood tendencies. There's going to be some street tendencies that's going to come up, and it might be against you at sometimes. We want all the gifts with none of the curse that comes with it.
The only way you're going to get there is by pursuing self-mastery. All right? There are plenty of good girls out there. But if you don't master yourself, you don't get yourself in shape, you don't quit porn, you don't get off the video games and start playing the real game of life, start making bold moves, start being productive, well then, you're just going to sit here being bitter over the fact that you're not getting the kind of girl you want. And I'm sorry it's hard. Because it is, right? It is hard. But the thing is, so much of our life is so much easier. There's so much more opportunity out here.
I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. Because I've never had like, that's never been my problem ever in my life. I've never struggled to get a girl. I've never struggled to have girls. That was never something like I was just like, dang, I wish I just had, like I always had a plethora. Like where like, yeah, take her. You go with that nigga. Like, leave me alone. Like, so maybe it's just that my mind can't register being in that position where you're that desperate for a woman. But how much is porn affecting the shit also? That was a good point, because maybe we're talking about our generation of who we are. Like, we're older generation and how we were brought up. But what about this new generation and how they're brought up? Maybe they are brought up in this false sense of reality of this is what women do by looking at porn, and this is how men treat women, and this is what social media is showing you. Oh, all women know how to twerk, or all women got this, and that's all I accept. But that shit is so far from reality that these children are growing up in a generation that doesn't even really know what the real world is. And they get out there in the real world and be like, that's not what I want. That's not who I want. My girl is this. No, your girl that you describe is only on the internet. Only on the internet. That woman that you want maybe don't even exist. Or that man that you want don't even exist. Of course, a ton of people like, shit, I need to work on myself. A lot of people, yeah, I need to work on my shit. I need to work on myself also. But it's the shit that's being like propagated. You know what I mean? Like it might be purposeful. Having these demands that are only met by the internet are some shit that you've only seen. You want what you've only seen on the internet. You want what you've only seen in social media. Have you seen that in the grocery store? Have you seen that at church? Have you seen that at school? Have you seen that in the library? What you're pursuing, have you ever even seen it in real life? Women, a lot of, let's go women too. Have you even seen a nigga that checks all them boxes that you got in your life? You've met a lot of people in your life. You went to school, you go to church, you go to the grocery store. Have you even seen that? Have you even seen that shit? The funny thing is, visionary star, that's not far off the truth. The government sat down around the table and said, how are we going to fuck up this culture? They literally did that. J. Edgar Hoover literally sat down and said, this is how we do this. Hey, Victor Bo, shout out to Word, dude. Shout out Word. I miss Word. That shit is funny. I never knew about that term. I never knew about hoflation. That's some new shit that I just came across right now. Hoflation. Oh, this is... Hey, the whole time, Ohio Times, the whole time they are what they say they ain't. The whole time they are what they say they not. Straight up. But the cold part is that they don't have to see the outcome. They know what the outcome is going to be. When you've been doing it for so long, you know what happens. You know how people act out when they don't have or they're struggling. You don't have to see. You don't have to be like, oh, I wonder what the outcome is going to be. You know what is going to be triggered by presenting a lack of resources or stripping this from this or taking this from here. You know what the outcome is going to be. They know. They've been doing it for millennial. before America. I use coconut oil, and I just wash my shit. Kingslayer, I'm fat and I'm not 6 feet tall. That's the curse. I got my beard, I got my hairline. You probably 6'2", probably in shape and shit. I just got my beard and my hairline. That's all I got to offer. Oh shit. I do want to bring this up. But this is the last thing that I gotta get out of here. I gotta do the editing for the syndicate. We recorded the syndicate yesterday. Gotta try to edit it so I can drop that shit tonight or something.
Shorts that roll up into their twat and then sit there and wonder what we looking at. We can't even focus on working out because we too busy looking at you with your full display. Then y'all get mad when men look at y'all or stare at y'all and say, oh, he's being weird. No, you're being weird when you decided to wear no clothes to the gym. And I understand it's your body. It's your body. It's your choice. You can wear whatever it is that you want to wear. I do agree with that. However, I just feel like the gym needs a dress code at this point because women are coming in the gym with less and less clothes on. Where are your clothes, honey? Where are your clothes? I understand it's your choice, but at the end of the day, this is a public place and you're not at a beach. Like, you're not at the pool. So why do you have on as little clothes as possible to come to the gym to work out with all these other people? This is not your personal gym. Like, it's not. If that's the case, you need to go to you make a gym at your house. Like, nobody wants to see all of that. And then have the audacity to have an attitude when people stare at you. Like, girl, women that come to the gym dress half naked, tube top, little shorts that roll up into their twat. And then
into their twat. So I get what she's saying. Don't wear that shit and then be surprised when people are looking. And you're recording yourself. Is it only okay for people to look? Is it only okay for people to look on social media? Because those same people that are looking in the gym are looking at you on social media. So you can't look in person, only look at social media. You're filming it, you're recording it, and you're about to put it on Instagram. This whole outfit, this whole everything that you got, you're about to put it on the internet. And all these men are about to look and comment. All those hundreds of thousands of followers you got are men. But it's okay for them, but it ain't okay for the nigga at the gym to be like, shit. It's so bad. I avoid even being around or working out around a girl that's dressed like that. I'll go to the other side because I don't want to be looked at like, oh, he just over there for this. That's how weird it's gotten. That's how weird it's gotten. Bending over and they got on this little stuff and you can't, like, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take this over here. But then I've seen on the internet, I've seen in videos, women getting mad at people being close to them or being over there or looking or like, okay, I'm not saying you deserve to be gawked at, but everything you got is hanging out. It's going to cause some people to look. I'll be clear on the other side of the moon. Like, I see that, I'll be like, I'm over here with it. Cause you ain't gonna put me in that shit where you film me and got me on the internet looking like I'm looking at you. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, but you just right there. Like, do y'all think there should be a dress code? Like, what would be the dress code? How would you even control that? Like, what is the standard or the boundaries or the parameters that you would ride with? Vic, send those fast ass women to the gym. And it's just funny. Women be setting dudes up at the gym. Have you guys seen There's women who put phones in their back pocket just to film people looking at them walk by and then put them on the internet. You put somebody on the internet because he's admiring your body, or not, is that called catcalling? I'm not sure what that's called. But it's women who put phones in their back pocket to catch men admiring them or looking at them. Yeah, come dressed like Billie Eilish. You know how uncomfortable women would be if niggas was walking around like with spandex on, got your whole meat out, like, and was just working out in the most precarious positions, meat all out, just doing. You don't think that would be weird? Hey, Kingpin, that's what I'm saying. Right. And then go working out, doing some old thrusters or something, and be like, what you looking at? What are you looking at? What you got? What you staring at? It's a double standard, man. Women be setting cats up. Like, why you? It's the way some of us are wired. Galley bags. Oh, man. That shit. Oh, shit. Like, yeah, man. The internet is a wild place. Internet is a wild place, man. All right, I'm out of here. I got to get out of here. I got to get on this editing. Let me edit this stuff up. Shout out to all y'all, man. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, 9:30. I'll be back up in here, man. Y'all be good. Go be a blessing for somebody else out there. Go be great. Go be positive. Live a beautiful life. Lend a helping hand. Listen. Pay attention to your surroundings. Sometimes all people need is just a conversation. But y'all go out there, be good, man. Go be blessed. I'm out of here. Boom. Almost out of here.
Ghetto cafe in the building, steam rising from the stove. We switching lanes, they don't want it, they just pose for the smoke. If it's about that coffee, we got the roast and the toast. Shots fired from the French press, let it drip slow and boast. Mornings on the west, sun low, but the grind stay woke. Ghetto cafe, steam in the breeze. Cruising through dreams with a mug and some peace. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves.
Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow.